I want to focus a little bit on hearing from God and waiting for God. I'm going to do this by sharing a couple stories from my testimony. When I first got down to Florida in 2016, the brake light came on my convertible. So I stopped in at a well-known tire shop to have them checked. The gentleman said, "I'll be right back. I'm going out to check your brakes." This was red flag number one. He's going outside with a pen and clipboard to check my brakes in the parking lot by walking around my car. He came back in and he said, "You need pads and rotors all the way around. It'll cost you about $650. Red flag number two. All 4 rotors? I asked him, "What's wrong with the rotors?" He said, "All 4 of them are rusty." I told him not where the pads are rubbing on them, they're not. I then walked to my car and left. I then felt in my spirit that I should call my friend Sid. Now this was hearing from God, not a voice or a feeling, but a confident knowing in my spirit. So I called Sid, and Sid gave me the name of a mechanic, and he said I should take my car there. After I arrived, the mechanic checked my brakes. He said I just needed pads on the back. It would cost me about $50. The truth just set me free and let me keep $600 in my pocket. This is how God works and directs us through His Spirit in our spirit. Since this gentleman was honest and trustworthy, he became our mechanic. Next, about 2 years ago, Jackie had an issue with her car. AAA had to tow it in twice, and we had to have it repaired 3 different times for the same problem. Of course, that was not convenient. But then I had a problem with the AC on my Grand Cherokee. The mechanic told me it would be around $650 to repair it because something had to be replaced under the dash, and the dash had to come out. Something in my spirit was unsure. Something was very unsettled inside. I also recalled the $650 brake estimate. I just told our mechanic I wasn't going to do anything right then about it, and I went home and waited on God. Now I have a little hobby driving service, and I asked Jackie if I could use her car with AC to service my clients for a couple weeks. It was about 3 weeks later when God showed me, again no voice, I should take my Jeep to Fred, the guy I bought it from. Now I knew Fred sold cars, but I didn't think he did mechanical work. I called him and took the Jeep in to let him look at it. In about an hour to an hour and a half and $80 later, I had cold AC. Again, saving $570. From that point on, we started looking for a different mechanic. But the very next time my oil change due message dinged on my dashboard, I knew God wanted me to go back to that same mechanic and see if I could get an oil change. I was so sure that came from God, I called the mechanic right away. He said, "Bring it right in, we'll take care of you." When I got there, I got immediate service. I told the mechanic about Fred repairing my AC for $80 to show him that I was losing confidence in him. But he asked me to accept his sincere apology. He said the crew member who repaired Jackie's car was the same one who diagnosed my AC problem, and he had to let him go because he wasn't honest. I received a few oil changes for my inconvenience, and we are still with the same mechanic and still being blessed with good service. Again, God showed me to go back, and I would have never gone back to that mechanic. Another time, for convenience, I went to a different place for my oil change. It was a drive-through franchise. Was that ever the wrong answer? I had quite an experience. First, I had to stay in my vehicle. Second of all, they tried to sell me an $89 oil change. Third, they tried to sell me a new air filter that I didn't need. And fourth, they only hand tightened the oil filter, which vibrated loose, causing an oil leak. Can you see why I knew God didn't want me to go there for my oil change? I'm still trying to figure out why I did. God knows where we should go for everything. He knows what we need. He knows what's best for His children. Many mistakes and trials we go through are because we didn't ask or listen to God's still small voice in our spirit. His still small voice should be a bigger priority in our lives. God knows everything. What does that tell you? What should we learn from this? We don't know anything.